everybody, my name is Sherry. Welcome to my stamp studio. I am doing a series right now on quick and easy summer cards. They also feature the bundles that are on sale from Stampin' Up. So bundles, when they are introduced, stamp and dies, are 10% off. So every catalog, when they first come out, they're 10% off. Online exclusives, when they come out, are 10% off. So if you go to my sherry.stampinup.net shopping site, you can see, search by the sale, search by bundles, and the stamp die bundles, and the cut and emboss large machine, and the cut and emboss, both the mini machines in white and in the boho blue. All of those are 10% off in June. So the stamps and dies have to be in stock to be on sale. So I'm doing a series right now featuring those. I cross my fingers that when I do it, that they stay in stock. I've tried to keep you up to date if you're on my email list of which ones are in, out, and expected anticipated dates when they return. But we're getting ready to go on vacation. So I'm filming all of these ahead now. So from film date, they are in, but that doesn't mean when I post these on YouTube that might not change. So I'll do my best before we leave on vacation to let you know, and then we'll be gone until the end of the sale. So when I leave, I will let you know the stock levels for them. I'm trying to show you ones that are a little bit more obscure. And so hopefully those, they might be ones that you haven't noticed. So that's good, right? All super cute and all quick and easy and all great for your crafting needs. So I just did the little ducks. Those are super cute. I have done the Market Goodness, and this one won't be in stock, but I know a ton of you that are my customers purchased it when the catalog was new, and then again on the free shipping day, which was actually a better sale than the 10% off, because shipping's 11% off. So if you bought it on free shipping day, you saved a 1% more than if you would have gotten it at the start of this. Today I'm going to show you Tune In. I haven't actually had time to go back and look over recent orders, but I don't know that hardly any of you have gotten Tune In, and it's super cute. So, and it makes great guy cards. It's a really good mid-century modern, and that is really in right now. If you have lots of 20-somethings in your life, a lot of them love mid-century modern. So you could make some great, especially masculine cards for that demographic in your life. The samples in the catalog, they're okay. They don't do it near the amount of justice that you could. As my card today is cute, but if it wasn't quick and easy, if I had a little bit more time, and I'm trying to film like 6 to 8 tutorials today, or at least 6, and then get ready for my in-person event that I have in the morning. So my card as well doesn't do it quite the justice. Like if you had a little bit of time to spend creating with this, there's so many cute things that you could do with it. And you can see that you can either stamp or build a TV. So the little thing that we're going to use today, it makes little dials and a little TV vent. We're not going to be able to do that because quick and easy is the name of today's game, but we're going to go full mid-century modern. The dies are cute. We're going to use several of the dies. We are going to color, which usually when I do quick and easy, that kind of takes coloring out, because that's where you can kind of get lost in sucking up all of your time. We stayed at a hotel, and it was this themed throughout. It's somewhere in Ohio, at the halfway point between here and Oswego, New York. That's actually where we're headed for the first part of our vacation this week, but we're driving straight through this time. But it's up near NASA in Ohio, and it looks like this. It looks like you've just stepped into the 60s, which is kind of super cool. And it looks like that. The star of the show, besides the stamp set for this, I went with the textured metallic specialty paper, which is new in this catalog, and you can see it comes in, it's got texture to it, which is great for metallic paper because it kind of helps hide fingerprints, or if you have things on your cutting plates, it helps hide those as you roll it through. But it's gold, silver, and copper, and we're going to use all 3 colors. So the first thing, we have mid-century modern colors working here. And you could add pops of colors. I didn't, partly because of keeping it quick and easy. And then I have this wood grain paneling paper here because you need a good piece of paneling, right? And so you'll be pleased to learn that if you liked that market card here and you bought the market paper and you're like, I don't know how many garden cards I can come up with. Well, you can also use it for your TV because that's where I got this piece of paper. We have wood grain papers in a lot of them. It's in the country flower, country woods paper, the one with the birdhouse that we have right now too. This one I think looks a little bit more paneling than that one. The other one looks a little bit more farmhouse. This one looks like paneling, and it's perfect for this. So then I have all three colors of the metallic espresso. I have a little piece of window sheet. I have vanilla to stamp the inside of our card, and then our TV is going to be stamped on the crumb cake. Don't y'all just remember these TVs? Well, maybe not all of you, but most of us remember having these kind of TVs. It made life was just different when we had this kind of TV. I'm going to change a couple of things on this card because, you know, I get done. Sometimes I get done with a card, or not all the way done, like I don't finish it, and then I'm like, I want to switch this out. So if you watched my one with the ducks, I made the switch while I was filming, because here's what happens. Depends on how my life is going and how much time I have. So often I switch it before you guys ever see it. And I kind of mess with it and I play with it, and I'm like, I like this look better. But when I am trying to do as much as I'm trying to do today, then I just keep it the way it is, and then I go ahead and I show you guys another look. So I'm going to switch a color on this, just one real quick switch, and we'll see which one we like better. I could have stood up and not taken so long, but... So there's our TV. And then on the other one I stamped, I thought I wanted the words on this to not be very dark, so I stamped them in crumb cake. I'm going to try them in black. So this says, stay tuned for a very important message. I think it kind of got lost in the crumb cake, but my card was done, and you know, this is part of the TV, and so I didn't want to have to do another whole piece. And it was all stuck together. So, you know, you can, yeah, I like that better. So I think it'll be a little bit stronger on the card, but we'll look at the end. I also don't have an inside to my other card. So we're doing the inside for the first time. So we have stay tuned for a very important message that will be on the outside. So we're going to do, and they'll do this at my in-person camp, and so I want to have them. So we're going to do news flash, and then happy birthday. And here's where a lot of the fun colors, those, like I'm thinking kind of like the metallic cups, you know, that you see at the vintage stores. Those would be fun on this, but not when you're in a hurry. So I'm going to get my crumb cake, which was out because I stamped the crumb cake here. And we're just going to kind of, it's not monochromatic, but it's definitely in the one color theme. And we're just going to add some of these fun little things here. And we'll just stamp those off to fill in the background. So there's the inside of the card, especially because it's on an espresso background. And then I have my little bucket over here to put all this stuff in so we can go straight downstairs, because I am trying to kill as many birds with as few stones as possible today. So we're going to color this in. I wanted it to look like an old TV. So I just reached over to my blend stand and I just got colors of browns and grays. So super simple. I don't even think that I ended up using them all. But I did know that I wanted these to have a chrome look. So those are pecan. Those are the only things that I colored pecan. So, and I just did one color. And then at the end, I'm going to make them look a little bit more chromy. But it has to be the very last step, which is always also great at camp too, because it needs time to dry. So I'll try to remember to have them do this card first so they can have some dry time. So remember, I'm doing fast. I wish you guys were here so you could remind me, because I love to color. And then let's see. I know I don't think I used all these. So let's do granite. At first, the card was gonna be, this was gonna be gray, and so I think I have more gray here than what I used. Let's do dark crumb cake. And one of these is old and I have a replacement. I guess it's not this one. So we just went over all this. This isn't my newest crumb cake. Are you guys like me where I color with a blend and I'm like, this is old, I need a replacement, but I have a hard time throwing it out unless it's drier than dirt. And so then I just keep using it. And then this is my bronze. And really any colors of the browns would work. You're just trying to get it to be TV colors. So just tracing this little, because once upon a time, those of you that are younger folks, TVs were not black. We didn't build frames around TVs and hang them on the wall. And this one harkens back to before they were black. Because then, you know, it did enter the black era. Maybe in the 70s and 80s when they became more of a black monstrosity. And then they got to be huge black monstrosities. And then they were huge black monstrosities that hung on the wall. What color is this one? This is 100. So again, I'm just kind of giving it some wood grain. And I know it all looks super dark, but then we can kind of hide it. So now I'm going to take, let's go with the dark gray granite. I'm going to get rid of the light one. I don't think I used it. And this one I'm going to use my bullet tip. And because this is gray granite, but because I'm coloring on crumb cake, it gives it a different kind of look. Just kind of whirl it around in here. This one also could stand to be replaced from my giant stack of you need to replace these. So all the places now that I have now that the paper is getting a little wet, whatever the dark color was at 100, I don't remember what I said. The dark color now, they start to kind of brush into it. Gives it a little bit of the wood grain tone. And it will all lighten up a little bit because it's the crumb cake paper, and so when the crumb cake gets wet, from my granite marker, it gives it a different kind of look. But you can see, I know some of you thought when I put that dark brown on there, what the heck is she doing? Like right here. But we are going to cut buttons out. We can't have that whole grill thing because the grill thing doesn't work, like the speakers. It doesn't work on the stand, but we can put the buttons on here. And you really should work on scrap paper, and you'll see why, because this is stuck to my table, I'm sure. Now I have a little imprint of a TV, but it's time for my table to be painted, so. There we go. That looks pretty good. That looks pretty good and pretty aged. It looks nothing like my other one, but that's okay. So now we have, this is going to go through here. I have a giant star here, the little grill. This is the speakers and the buttons, but only the buttons, the channel dials do I need. And then we have the antenna, because you know that was the only way that maybe hopefully you got sound in the evenings. We got our stars, and then this cuts out the actual screen. I have window sheet, but we're just going to mount it behind. So let me run these through. Okay, I'm going to pull these over just as I need them because it's easier than, especially with the window sheet. You know, if you touch it and it gets dirty, then you just have fingerprints. So let's start with our inside. One of these I can tell is almost gone, so I'm going to try to use it up so I can throw it away. Let's put the inside here. Isn't that fun? And then there's no ribbon, there's no embellishments on this card. Let me get the, and look, we have some garden paper on the back of our wood paneling. Part of the reason I'm doing it this way is because my antenna almost went off the top of my other card. Let's pull these over here. We're going to start with the TV. We're going to put it down a little bit lower because there's a little bit of a secret to get it on here. So you can see this, cut that out. And this piece right here cuts our message out. So it cut like this. But before I just stuck this on here and then I stuck this on here and you'll see my antenna is just on my card. So I want to put this a little bit lower. But you have to start with this. So I'm going to put it right here. And then before I stick it down hard, I want to make sure that it's in the right spot. Yeah, that works. And then you're going to take and add your window sheet. You can't cut your window sheet with a little die because then it doesn't have, it needs to be bigger, right, than this, so it has something to stick to. Oh, and that's the right size. Last time I had a little bit bigger, I just eyeballed it. And I'm going to use this, put some dimensionals here. You could use foam strips, which would be a little bit faster. You want to also make sure that they don't show inside your TV. You can touch all the edges of your window sheet where it is like here. So use that to hold on to, but you don't want to touch it where it's going to be in the screen. Otherwise you'll have a big old fingerprint and it'll be hard to clean if you have a fingerprint underneath it. And just line that back up. Now we have all of our little pieces. Let me pull them all over here real quick. Okay, for the rest of it, I'm going to use my glue. So add little drops of glue right here. Our little knobs, channel tuners. Back when you got your exercise from having to go change the channel, pick between the 4 that you had, maybe 3, unless you had PBS. And the volume. And then we're going to add this here. This is where I almost lost my antenna off the top. This is not the same one I used before. I think the other one I did was the one that was supposed to cut the stamp out, but they both work. I'll show you what I mean. And then we have our little wall decorations, which depending on, I think if you were going to give this to like a teenage girl, or, you know, if you could add some embellishments over here if you chose to. I just kept it simple. But you could easily add some color over here. You could add some green and purple, which would be kind of fun. Kind of mixed in here with the little wall things. You could add them to the top of them. The gold one, for whatever reason, curls. It curled on my other one too. So there's a little way to fix that. And I was just kind of random with them. Kind of where they fall and the glue hits, that's where they fall. So just add this one. It just takes a second, for about as long as it takes to put your lid back on your glue. I don't know that there's really any place on this particular card to put some ribbon. I think it would kind of detract from the whole thing. So let's take a look at this one while that sets just a second. See, I think this was supposed to cut the stamp out, but it works. This one's a little bit more dainty. There's 2 of them. And afterwards I thought that's kind of big. So I think it's the stamp cutty yaddy, but they both work. And then this is, here's I like the darker. I think you notice a little bit better. The color job, different, but it doesn't matter. And then here, I'm gonna add this in a second. I just added a little coat. We used to have Crystal Effects. This acts the same way, so it just makes my little legs a little chromy. And see, now that has kind of set. So you just, and then don't forget how fun our inside is. The other one doesn't have an inside. So we'll just add, I'm gonna put this back on here while I do this. You want to try to get it so it doesn't have bubbles. So kind of gently get that first little bit out. If you push like press too hard. I find the first little one gets a bunch of bubbles, which you don't notice when you're using it as a glue. But if you're using it for crystal effects, you're like, oh my goodness, that's all bubbly. And then it just kind of dries and gives it a clear, a shine to it, which is fun, especially on something like this where you want it to look metal. I thought about drawing it around the edge, but the chance for bubbles on that and the chance for it splashing onto my window sheet isn't worth the risk. It isn't going to make it that cute. So quick and easy, great masculine card. Stay tuned for an important message. I mean, you can do, with the news flash, you could do a promotion, a graduation, moving, you could do baby announcements, you could do all kinds of stuff. It needs a little bit longer on there, but there you go. One with a couple of little tweaks to see what I mean. If I have lots of time, I would fix the black because I much prefer that, and I probably would fix that too. But it doesn't matter. You can see that sometimes my first cards are not my best cards. Usually, by the time you guys see them, they've been tweaked. So I will catch you back here later. Have a great one. Bye.